So good morning, everybody. Today is our first Employer of the Future event. It makes us incredibly proud to see so many people here and so many people hopefully online. And it's a format where we bring together thought leaders and panelists, and of course all of you, you're also thought leaders, because otherwise you wouldn't be here. And we really want to see you exchange ideas, exchange best practices, and learn from each other. Because at the end of the day, we are shaping the future together.
The founder and CEO of Remote How, and he's basically a remote work superstar. Please welcome Ivo Cepar.
Async is how we communicate, but it's also about meetings. And this is my favorite meme of 2020. People were posting this all over the place, that we should have, we didn't need this meeting, right?
It's possibly the most female generation out there. And why do I say this? Because if we look at the German gymnasiums, so this is the highest secondary school you can go to, 56% are women that are attending it, while only 42% are men. And I think that is something fundamentally important, because I think we can use also more females.
There are other things which are more oriented to, let's say, group work, right? Interacting with people. Can be your colleagues, but it also can be your customers, for example, right? So the office won't lose its importance in that area. It will even increase, right? So the new office will look much more like a location like that, or it will feature a location like that, where you can do presentations, where you can do events, either internal or external, etc.
So we're talking about the Holy Trinity, die heilige Dreifaltigkeit. So that means you have to consider the people, you have to consider the places and real estate, and you have to consider the technology solutions. And these are very different skills and qualifications you need for this, and different type of people actually. And so if you have this at the customer, dedicated to how the new office world will look like, and then for example at the consulting part, then it's best. So because you really have to have all these different angles, perspectives, qualifications, skills to make a best fit approach in the end for the client.
I believe in a future where our success and our productivity are not just measured by what we do, but rather by the way we feel about what we do. They have a gift of transforming their vision into reality. But these people, and you may actually know people like that in your company, maybe you are one of them, they are the people who start a lot of things and often don't have the energy or the willpower to finish any.
The idea was we chose 3 speakers, but we do it. And they have 12 minutes to talk about their topic, their project, their learnings maybe. Can be a startup, can be something else. And then there are 12 minutes to ask questions, and then there are 12 minutes for the community to network. So this developed into a network. So we have 12 minutes me in more than 20 cities, not only in Germany, but in whole Europe.
We can let go of some of the vestiges of the past, but it takes more than just letting go. You also have to unlearn some things and embrace some new things. And I think the common thread here is you want to embrace this and you want to market it because you want to bring in a new wave of talent that helps you build the future of work. Even if you get so explicit as to add a line item to future job descriptions as a requirement that says, you will come in and help us invest in building the future of work. You want to be that explicit with people. And for candidates that look at GitLab, they know what we're about.
Doing a new thing, okay? Are you willing to like go on that journey as a company and empower the people that are working at your company to say, we haven't figured this out, right? And we're going to identify a few champions, right? And maybe a champion, right? Head of remote, maybe that's at your company, but say that we're going to do this in a way that is not fixed. We are going to iterate. We're going to keep evaluating what's working and not working for us, right? And our specific expression of a company, right? We're speaking from Berlin, Germany, right? A German-speaking remote company is going to look a lot different than an English-speaking remote company that is distributed from Seattle to Sydney, as I was saying, right? Like there's going to be different versions of this that fit different companies, and you and your people are the ones that know how to do that best.
And we also, our reporting structure changed, which speaks to the fact that there is no blueprint right now for the role that a head of remote or people playing this role where they sit within an organization. We reported to the chief of staff to the CEO, then we reported to the chief people officer, then we reported to the CMO. So we moved around a lot. And
One of the hardest things that I've had to do is figure out how to break down some of those barriers that we built up where we've thought, we've changed from meetings are toxic to meetings can be toxic, for example. And that mindset shift of it's okay to schedule a meeting in that case. So it's obviously much broader than that, but I find that interesting because I see a lot of people transitioning to the distributed workforce and thinking, okay, how do we get rid of all the synchronicity? And on the flip side of that, I'm trying to infuse a little bit into it, and there's some resistance and friction there, obviously.
But the truth is that every business is about emotions, right? Why? When we build our company culture, we want people to identify with it. Then we say, okay, we have values, we have a mission, we have a vision, we have a purpose. It's our emotion that gets connected here, right? The same thing is, since we are in the service industry and that's the employer of the future, right? When we talk about our customers, we also want to be customer-centric, right? If we are customer-centric, that means we speak to people's emotions. We want them to identify with our brand. So that means, is there any other way to be true to ourselves than getting a bit emotional?
I'd much rather have well-rested people instead of people that are just putting in the hours. Because hours don't equal output. I want to give you my key takeaways. Be bold. So that's one thing I've learned. There's nothing that you can't ask. Also, again, I'm saying this over and over, but it's really important. There is no one size fits all, because every company, every person is different.
But we believe that flexibility is not only remote work. It actually comes down to 3 pillars. So obviously, the flexibility is the freedom to choose where you work. But we also believe that flexibility is also the when you actually work. For many, many years, we used to work from 9 to 6. I don't know who decided that it was the best time for us to work. Some people prefer to work early, some people prefer to work late. I personally love to work late. Last part of flexibility for us is the how. The how could be how contractually you actually work. You could be a permanent employee, you could be a freelancer. You could also choose the tools that you're using to work.
So it was a full day, wasn't it? So we started at rituals, went to energy, from networking to Gen Z, from real estate to emoji. It's almost like I'm rapping here. And then we ended more or less with heads of remote, and now this inevitability of flexibility. That's a tongue breaker, really. It was a super full day, and we're still at the beginning. Not of today, thank God. We're at the beginning of remote work. I guess we're at the beginning of our journey towards the future of work. Workmotion as a company, I think we're 2.5 years old. We're only at the beginning. And also this concept, this event, Employer of the Future, is at its beginning, because today it's the first time.